Many people go through life feeling stuck without understanding why. They try to move forward, but something always pulls them back. The reason is often hidden in their beliefs, deeply rooted thoughts that shape their reality. Some of these beliefs are helpful, guiding them toward growth and confidence, but others act as invisible chains, limiting what they think is possible. These beliefs become so familiar that they go unnoticed, yet they control thoughts, actions, and decisions every day. Negative beliefs are not facts, but they feel real because they have been reinforced over time. They whisper doubts, create hesitation, and convince people that they are not capable of more. The longer they are accepted, the stronger they become. They shape self-perception, influence relationships, and even affect health and happiness. Breaking free from them is not about pretending they don't exist. It is about recognizing their influence and deciding they no longer have power. Thoughts are not fixed. They can be changed. Just as the mind learns to accept limitations, it can also learn to let them go. Replacing these thoughts with new ones requires attention and effort, but it is possible. The mind is adaptable, always learning, always shifting. The moment a person realizes that their beliefs are shaping their experience, they gain the ability to change everything. Nothing outside has to shift first. Everything starts within. These beliefs do not appear out of nowhere. They are absorbed from experiences, words, and repeated patterns. From a young age, the mind collects information about the world and assigns meaning to it. It listens to what is said, observes what is done, and forms conclusions. Over time, these conclusions become beliefs that shape self-assessment and expectations. Some beliefs are positive, but others create fear, doubt, and a sense of limitation. Many of these thoughts come from past influences. Words that were heard repeatedly became part of internal dialogue. Situations that caused discomfort left lasting impressions. Failures that were never understood turned into fears of trying again. The mind is always absorbing information, looking for patterns, and deciding what is true, but not everything it accepts is accurate. Just because something was believed for years does not mean it has to be believed forever. Recognizing where these thoughts come from is an important step. It allows a person to see them for what they are, learned ideas, not unchangeable truths. It becomes easier to question them and choose something different. This awareness shifts the focus from being controlled by the past to taking control of the present. Instead of automatically accepting every thought, the mind can start asking, is this true? Does this help? If not, it can be replaced. Negative beliefs thrive in the background, influencing choices without being noticed. But once they are identified, they lose their strength. They no longer control decisions from the shadows. The mind becomes open to new possibilities, to different ways of thinking. What once seemed impossible begins to feel within reach. The past does not have to dictate the future. The beliefs that created limits can be left behind. Negative beliefs influence thoughts, decisions, and reactions in ways that are not always obvious. They shape how a person views challenges, relationships, and personal worth. When negative ideas about ability, value, or potential are repeated in the mind, they become familiar, making them feel true, even when they are not. This leads to hesitation, self-doubt, and avoidance of opportunities. One of the strongest effects of these beliefs is limiting choices. When the mind assumes failure or rejection, it avoids risks. Even when new possibilities arise, they are dismissed before being explored, progress slows down, and old patterns repeat. These beliefs also affect how success and happiness are perceived. Instead of seeing them as natural, the mind may view them as unreachable or temporary, reinforcing the cycle of doubt. Another way these beliefs take control is through expectations. If the mind believes that life is full of struggle, it looks for proof to confirm it. If it expects relationships to fail, it notices every small problem and assumes the worst. This influences emotions, behaviors, and interactions with others. It affects self-care, motivation, and confidence in making decisions. And instead of moving forward, energy is spent on fear and hesitation. Recognizing these patterns is important. They do not have to continue. The mind can be trained to question them. It can replace automatic reactions with deliberate choices. Instead of assuming the worst, it can focus on what is possible. Instead of reacting with fear, it can respond with understanding. The control negative beliefs have is not permanent. The more they are questioned, the weaker they become. Negative beliefs remain strong because the mind prefers what is familiar. It repeats old thoughts because they feel safe, even when they create discomfort. Change requires effort, and the brain resists what it perceives as uncertainty. Letting go of a belief means stepping into the unknown, which can feel unsettling. This is why people often stay in the same habits, even when they are unhappy with them. Fear plays a major role in keeping these beliefs in place. The mind would rather stick to patterns it knows than risk something different. It avoids the possibility of failure, rejection, or disappointment by holding on to what it understands. This is why self-doubt continues even when there is proof of success. The brain clings to past experiences as a way to protect itself, even if those experiences are no longer relevant. Another reason these beliefs persist is repetition. The more a thought is repeated, the stronger it becomes. If the mind has been told for years that something is difficult, it accepts that as a fact. If it has been conditioned to believe that happiness is rare, it does not look for it. These patterns continue until they are consciously changed. Changing these beliefs starts with awareness. Noticing them is the first step. Instead of reacting automatically, the mind can pause and question whether a thought is useful. It can decide if a belief is helpful or if it is holding things back. The more this is practiced, the easier it becomes. Over time, the mind adapts and new patterns take shape. The beliefs that once felt impossible to change begin to lose their strength. The first step in removing negative beliefs is recognizing them. These thoughts have been repeated for years, making them feel automatic. Without awareness, they continue shaping decisions and limiting potential. Noticing them brings them to the surface, where they can be questioned instead of accepted without thinking. Paying attention to self-talk is important. The words used internally influence emotions and actions. If thoughts constantly reinforce fear, doubt, or limitation, they affect confidence and decision-making. Identifying these patterns makes it easier to separate fact from assumption. Just because a thought appears does not mean it is true. It is a habit created by past experiences and repeated thinking. Observing reactions to situations also provides insight. If certain challenges bring feelings of helplessness or frustration, there may be a belief in place that reinforces those emotions. Instead of automatically responding in the usual way, pausing to question the response allows space for a different choice. Writing down common negative thoughts can make them clearer. Seeing them on paper highlights how often they appear and how they influence decisions. When listed out, many of these beliefs lose their power because they are recognized as assumptions rather than fact. Becoming aware of these thoughts does not mean they will disappear instantly. It means they can no longer go unnoticed. Once they are identified, it becomes possible to stop reinforcing them and choose different thoughts instead. Removing negative beliefs is not enough. They must be replaced with new ones that support confidence, growth, and success. The mind needs something to hold on to, and without a replacement, old patterns return. Choosing new beliefs requires clarity. Instead of vague positive statements, they need to be realistic and meaningful. Replacing "I am not good enough" with "I am always learning and improving" shifts the focus from limitation to progress. The goal is not instant perfection, but a mindset that allows growth. Repetition strengthens these new thoughts. The more they are repeated, the more familiar they become. Just as negative beliefs become automatic through years of repetition, positive ones take hold through consistent use. Writing them down, saying them daily, and consciously choosing them in moments of doubt helps reinforce them. Taking action is necessary to confirm these new beliefs. Thoughts alone do not create change. Decisions and behaviors must align with them. If a person tells themselves they are capable, but continues avoiding challenges, the old belief remains in control. Small actions that reflect the new mindset strengthen it. Being patient with this process is important. Changing beliefs is not about forcing thoughts, but about consistently guiding them in a new direction. Over time, the mind adapts and the new beliefs become natural. The way challenges are viewed shifts, confidence grows, and opportunities that once seemed impossible start to feel within reach. Building self-love is necessary to replace negative beliefs. When the mind values itself, it stops seeking approval from outside sources. It stops attaching worth to achievements or opinions. Self-love is not about ignoring flaws, but accepting them without judgment. Treating oneself with kindness changes internal dialogue. Instead of repeating self-criticism, the mind learns to offer encouragement. When mistakes happen, they are seen as learning experiences rather than proof of failure. This shift removes the fear of not being enough and allows confidence to grow. Setting boundaries is another part of self-love. Saying no to what does not feel right and choosing what brings peace helps remove unnecessary stress. Accepting less than what feels right weakens confidence over time. The more a person values their time and energy, the easier it becomes to remove negative influences. Taking care of mental and physical well-being reinforces self-worth. Rest, nutrition, and positive habits signal to the mind that it is valued. When treated with care, the body and mind respond with more energy, focus, and clarity. Self-love is a choice made every day. It is built through actions, thoughts, and the way challenges are handled. When it becomes a habit, negative beliefs lose their power and confidence in personal worth strengthens. Replacing beliefs and developing self-love is only effective when followed by action. Thoughts alone cannot create change. Decisions and behaviors must reflect the new mindset. Actions must match the belief that improvement is possible. Avoiding challenges keeps negative thoughts in control, while stepping forward confirms that growth is happening. Each decision to act from confidence weakens doubt. Setting small, achievable goals builds trust in personal ability. Success does not come from waiting for the right time, but from consistently taking steps forward. Even small efforts make a difference when done with intention. Surrounding oneself with positive influences reinforces new beliefs. Conversations, environments, and habits that support confidence make it easier to maintain progress. Removing negativity from daily life helps new thoughts take hold. Holding on to old behaviors while expecting new results does not create change. Adjusting daily choices to align with personal growth ensures that progress continues. The more these actions are repeated, the stronger they become, making success feel natural rather than forced. Shifting the way situations are viewed changes how they are experienced. Negative beliefs make challenges seem permanent, but changing perspective allows new possibilities to appear. Every situation can be seen in multiple ways, and the choice of focus determines the outcome. Seeing difficulties as opportunities for growth helps remove fear. Instead of avoiding challenges, they can be approached with the mindset that progress is always possible. This prevents discouragement and builds resilience. Each time a problem is faced with confidence, the mind strengthens its belief in its own ability. Letting go of past assumptions creates space for new experiences. If the mind expects failure, it will find reasons to believe it. If it expects success, it will look for ways to achieve it. Thoughts influence behavior, and behavior shapes reality. When beliefs align with confidence, results begin to reflect that shift. Replacing negative thoughts with constructive ones requires consistency. Instead of reinforcing past limitations, attention can be directed toward progress. Choosing thoughts that encourage action and growth gradually weakens self-doubt. Over time, this new way of thinking feels natural, making it easier to navigate challenges without hesitation. Personal growth is a continuous process. The mind will always seek familiar patterns, but awareness allows for conscious decisions. When negative beliefs try to return, they can be recognized and replaced before they take hold. This keeps progress steady and prevents falling back into old habits. Maintaining new beliefs requires daily efforts. Thoughts, words, and actions should align with the mindset of confidence and self-worth. Doubt may still appear, but responding with patience and persistence keeps it from gaining control. Surrounding oneself with supportive environments reinforces positive change. Avoiding influences that feed negativity helps new beliefs grow stronger. The more time spent in places that encourage confidence, the easier it becomes to maintain progress. Each decision to act from a place of self-worth strengthens personal power. As negative beliefs fade, clarity increases, and new opportunities become visible. Change does not happen instantly, but with consistent effort, the results become undeniable.